welcome to Friday Nights with Emma. Let everybody join, give everybody a minute to join. Give us a little thumbs up, little heart. Mikey's on camera, so say hi to Mikey. Link was here a minute ago, then he scared himself. And now he's chasing his own fluff. Yeah, it's not the smartest cat, but we love him. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I got nothing to prep. I'm sort of ready. I just gotta wait for everybody to join. Got my wine now. Here's Link. This is my boy. Yes, you're a good Kit Kat. Yes, you are. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna fall off the table. Yeah. Who's a good boy?
There are people here, but no, I don't see any comments as yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, so, okay. Hi, guys. Well, I've got a couple of things to do this week.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Lorna.
Hi, Lorna.
Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Terry.
Hi, Terry. So,
Annette.
hi, Annette.
Surprised to see you after such a busy day.
Oh, yeah.
Diane.
Hi,
Hillary. Cheryl.
Hillary. Hi, Hillary. Hi, Cheryl.
And Sandy says, love the show, bought the pattern.
Oh, yay.
Mandy.
Hi, Mandy.
And Diamond.
Hi, Shirley. Well, you've got a treat if you like today's pattern, because I've got a super sneak peek at next week's Christmas in Quilt Spray. It's still a work in progress, but it will be done. The instructions are done.
Diane.
Oh, hi, Diane. I thought I'd give you a quick sneak peek of that. So, let me show you. So these are all my bits. I'll show you the appliques. The houses are going to be the same, only different fabrics. So this is one of the appliques.
Christine from Glasgow. Loved your quilt today.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, this one is Christmas in Quilt Spray. So this is one of the applique blocks. These are the houses. They don't have doors on yet.
Joan.
This is. Oh, hi, Joan.
Your Sarah.
Oh, hi, Sarah. Oh, I better keep them in
Claudia.
because they were. Hi, Claudia. There's going to be a couple of layer cakes next week as well. So you can see these ones are all red and white and green. The other one has more blue in it as well. Snowman. Oh, this is one of the appliques. There we go. Snowman. Snowman houses.
Diana.
Oh, hi, Diana. It's one of the extra bits. It's another house. Oh, Christmas trees or pine trees. That's one of the appliques. House. 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 This is what I was doing this afternoon when I came home, was finishing my houses.
Carol was watching.
Oh, hi, Carol.
Karen says this Christmas quilt looks cute.
Oh, thank you. I've got one last applique to do. It's going to have another of the street lamps. And all the applique is done. Candy canes. Snowman. This one's got a lot of houses in it. Ah, here's another applique. Snowman and a tree. Big snowman.
Anne is watching.
Oh, hi, Anne.
I'm wondering what you're going to be making.
Oh, this is a sneak peek for next Saturday's show on Sewing Street, which is going to be Christmas in Quilt Spray. Today was Halloween in Quilt Spray. So I'm just giving everybody a super sneak peek of the quilt for next week. Houses, houses, houses. Don't worry, there isn't some more applique to come.
Cindy says she can see that she's going to love it.
I think you are. It has a cat. I kept the cat. I think this is the one with the cat coming up. I think there's going to have to be a cat in every one. That's what I've decided. Get in there, get in there. Here we go. This is another one of the appliques. So It's got a street lamp, and there's the kitty. I've gone white this time rather than black. But you can make it black if you want to. That's one of them. And houses. Houses. Blank houses. Ah, and then this one had to do a tree farm because we have a tree farm in the village. So this is a tree farm.
Deborah's watching.
Oh, hi Deborah. So this is one of the appliques. And I think I've got one more. House. House. That bit. House.
Dawn is watching.
Oh, hi Dawn. Link's been chasing his tail today.
Susan is watching.
Oh, hi Susan. And this is the last applique. This is Snow Lady.
Claudia says, lovely, can't wait for the Christmas quilt. Are the others all coming as quick, i.e. Easter?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Claire is watching.
Oh, hi Claire. Might do well, I'll have to think about it. So I'll get all my creative juices going. And
Annette asks, and rightly so, where am I carrying the tree?
That's a good point.
Maureen says, what a lovely idea. Love the Halloween village. And Cheryl is watching.
Thank you. Oh, hi Cheryl. Yeah, so that's a sneak peek at next week on Sewing Street, which will be a week from tomorrow, so next Saturday. And that will be Christmas in Quiltsborough. There's that colourway, and then there's another one. I'm trying to think of its. I don't think I've got the layer cake handy, but I'll put some more pictures on it as I get them made next week.
Sandy says she has a cat on her knee and one waiting for her turn. And Claudia says the Christmas trees will look nice with mini LED lights.
Oh.
And Anne likes your top.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, for those of you who got the Ginger Giraffe, I promised I'd go through it today. And quite a few of you did. There are still some more left if you still want to have it. There are more. I actually had more than I thought, so there's still a chance for you to get it if you want to. Oh, sorry. I guess I've got a cramp in my foot. So what I was going to show you, before you start cutting it up, even though I have cut mine up, before you cut it up, because you've got, this is the panel, you've got panels of printed fabric for her clothing, and it tells you which bits are which. So what I've done, so that I can make some different clothes for her, using the same pattern but different fabrics, is I ironed out my panel so everything's nice and flat and straight, and then I used my baking paper to trace the shapes, so that, and I've marked them. So this is for her bloomers, this is a sleeve, this is her collar, and this one I think is just her dress. So you can keep the pattern pieces and you can make more clothes for her. That's what how cool would that be for Christmas? For anybody, it doesn't have to be for a child. It's fun just to, you could just dress her up for different, you could do Halloween, you could do Christmas. So that is what she looks like. She is 26 inches tall and she's all finished. How all the instructions are on here. You see I've cut some bits out already. So these are all the instructions. So I thought I would just go through, especially the trickier bits, and do some sewing. So
Paula is watching.
Oh, hi Paula. So I've cut out the bits for her body and her head. Now the first thing I wanted to talk to you about, because it does tell you to do it in the first part of the instructions, is her mane. Now it says in the instructions to cut along the dotted lines. Now if you've got the panel and you've got it in front of you, there are no dotted lines on this piece of mane. I don't know what they're talking about. It either got printed wrong or the instructions are wrong. So what I thought I'd show you is how I'm doing the mane, and I have seen the actual thing finished, and I think they did this to make the sample as well.
Sandra is watching from
Oh, hi,
Glasgow.
Sandra. So I folded my mane long ways.
And Sandy asks, where can I get the tracing paper?
Oh, tracing paper is literally a big box of baking paper that Michael got off Amazon. It's like a catering pack of baking paper that he got off Amazon. And he reckons it was like £5. I've never actually bought it, but it is huge, huge roll. I've got tons left, and I use it for patterns. I have used it for actual baking, believe it or not. And it's just one of those, once you've got it, it'll just last forever.
Yeah.
And you can use it for so many things. So that's what I used. Yeah.
So it's just baking paper.
Yeah, it's just baking paper, but a catering size pack.
Yeah.
Of Amazon.
Yeah, if my memory serves, in Amazon it came in like a brownish.
Yeah, it's brownish, sort of tannish coloured box. Yeah. So I folded my mane.
Barbara is watching.
Oh, hi Barbara. Lengthways, so it's longer this way than it is wide. If I show you, this is the shorter side, this is the longer side. I've just folded it in half. And what I've been doing is just cutting strips. So as it's folded, cutting a strip roughly about 1 centimetre wide.
Judith says, so glad you were explaining the mane. I couldn't see any lines.
Yeah, no. And I'm cutting it all the way as maybe until maybe about 1/4 inch. So you'll have a 1/2 inch in the middle. So if I show you, maybe about 1/2 inch in between each one. And then what I will do once it's all cut, because it does say to sew them on by hand, but it tells you to actually cut these individually. Now, there's no way I'm going to sew each individual one on by itself, so that's why I'm leaving a little gap in the middle so that they're all attached. And then it's just a case of, and it will have raw edges. It's supposed to look a bit messy. I'm just doing a bow to each one.
Barbara says, I've lost my mane.
Oh no! Well, to be fair, I can tell you what size it is. Probably. I don't have my tape measure. So that's about 6. It's probably about 9 or so inches by about 12, I would say, roughly. I think it was 36 centimetres long, because I actually measured it, and it did come up to 36 centimetres, whatever that is. And I'm not sure about that size, but about, I'd say about 9 inches.
Christine is watching.
Oh, hi Christine.
She says you look fantastic with your weight loss.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's what I'm just going to do for the mane, is just continue that knotting and doing bows. Oh, actually, did I not? I can't
Judith
remember.
says, I suppose you can use chunky wool for the mane.
Oh, yeah, you could, totally. I think I'm going to try it without the knot and see what happens. See how that works. Oops. There we go. No, it definitely needs a knot and then a bow.
And Maureen says, I suppose you could use ribbon for the mane.
Oh, yeah, you could. That would be nice.
And Christine says, sorry, a little late. Can you please explain what you are doing?
Oh, I am going over the Ginger Giraffe panel that I talked about last week. Because a lot of you did buy it. And I'm going over the main part. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. So, yeah. And then I will sew that on individually by hand once that's all knotted and done. That's one of the last things you do. So that's the mane. Then your ears. So I've cut all my ears out. I've got 2 outer bits and 2 inner bits. Oh, and all the seam allowances are 1/4 of an inch. But for these, you need a little bit of wadding. So I've cut a piece of wadding the same size as my earpiece. Let's see, I'm trying to think which way I want it. I think I'm going to have it more along the outside, so like that. So I've got my outer ear, which is the pale bit, against my wadding, and then I've got my inner ear right sides together on top of that, and then I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch around this way. And the reason I'm doing it in this way is because I want my wadding to be up against my outer ear rather than my inner ear, if that makes sense. I'll show you. Let's see, I think I might increase my stitch length just a bit because there's a lot of wadding in there. So that's one, and I'm going to clip it all around. That's what it looks like on that side. And on that side, just going to clip not quite into. So I always trim it to about maybe 1/8 of an inch of the sewing because I don't want to get too close. But I do my trims quite close to each other. I always think more is better. I don't know if that's right or not. There we go. And then I can flip that over. There, because I thought if I did it that way, then that wadding gives a little bit of stability to my outer ear, whereas my inner ear is a bit looser. So that's one. So outer, just trim that a bit more. There we go. There.
And Christine says, just going off the sewing demonstration, but you were on a Dyson ad. There was a lot of people who had tried the hair dye, and there was a lady who looked just like you.
Oh. I have to admit, I must have one of those faces because I do get that a lot. Random people coming up to me in the street. Not recently, but it has happened. Like swearing blind they know me, and then realizing like, oh, you're not who I thought you were. So clearly they did not break the mold. I'm just trimming the wadding bit off a bit close because I might do it on the other one as well, just to reduce some of that thickness. Just get the wadding, not messing around there. So you can see how I've trimmed the wadding down. Just to seam allowance of the wadding. Oh, and then I need to do my snips. and then the bottom of that just gets basted. Increase stitch length a little bit. So I'm going to baste it not quite a 1/4 inch in, because I don't want my stitches to show, or risk of showing, when I do my seam allowance, when I sew them in. So that's basically just to catch all the bottom bit so that it will stay together when I'm sewing it into the head. There we go. And this one needs to be trimmed on the inside as well. Should be a bit harder now that I've clipped it, but there we go. There. Those are the ears. I'm just trimming the wadding, not the edges. The bit of wadding that's sticking out. There we go. There we go. So those are my ears. Now, the head. So, the head and the body are all in one piece. So this is basically its head and its body. The legs will get attached down here, which I'll talk about in a minute. You've got, if you look at the head, this is where the ears will go inside. You have to clip down, I can do that, down that dotted line to the dot. Just like that. There, that will be for later. And there is also an opening. There's a couple of dots, white dots, that you need to leave the opening. That's so it can be stuffed later on. So I'm going to sew the front and the back together with my 1/4 inch seam allowance, leaving a gap for that in those dots. Now you're going to be turning them right side round and wrong side out, right side out, wrong side out. You're going to be turning it inside out a few times. So what I do at the beginning and end of each of these seams, gotta have my stitch length back to normal, is do either lock stitch and or a little backwards and forwards, just to reinforce those seams at the openings.
Christine says, love the fabric you are using.
Oh, for the Christmas?
I think it's for this.
For this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the ginger. I do like a ginger giraffe panel. Well, a panel, toy animal panel. It makes it nice because you really just have to cut around the shapes.
And Ellen is watching with a glass of wine and the dog snoozing on her lap.
Aww.
Loves watching and listening.
Oh, thank you. So I've marked where my opening is. Go backwards and forwards right there. There we go. And then I'm just going to cheat. I'm just going to knit to the next bit without moving, without putting my threads.
Christine says, is it a panel?
It is a panel. Yeah, so it's a Ginger Giraffe panel. There are still some available on the website, so at www.swiftquilting.com. If you search Ginger Giraffe, it will come up. But what I said at the beginning, because you get clothes with her as well. So where's her finished? Yeah, this is what she ended up looking like. So she's got a pair of bloomers and a little dress that you make to go on her as well. If these are all cut out of the panel, but if you use some baking paper or some tracing paper and draw those shapes out before you cut it, you then got the pattern pieces to make more clothes for her if you want to later on out of different fabrics. So that's her back done. Just going to snip these now. So that hole is where you'll turn her through and where you will stuff it at the end as well. I'm just going to double check my picture. Okay, so the front part you sew under the chin and down the front. You don't do anything on the top at this point.
Diamond says Ginger Giraffe seems to be a very popular pub name.
Oh.
And Christine asks, can you make the giraffe without the clothes?
Oh, of course. Yeah. You can just have Ginger Giraffe, you know, as she came into the world. Absolutely. You don't have to make the clothes at all. It'll come with a panel anyway. You'll get the clothes if you want them, but you don't have to make them and put them on her. Clothes are optional. Pivot around. There we go. An inch. Making sure my bits are all together. So that's the front and the back sewn together. So now we have to put there's a front gusset. So let me trim. Before we go any further, I'm going to snip all of my curves before I forget. So the curves are all snipped so that when you turn her out, they give a little bit and you get a nice curve and it doesn't pull it tight. This one isn't quite so curved, so I'm just going to snip her. Now this bit though is quite a deep one, so right here you want to snip right up almost to the stitching but not quite, and then her chin.
Mindy said she just ordered the panel. Love giraffes.
Yeah, it's fun. And the thing that you can do with them, so when I show you the legs, I'll show you what. If you add a little bit of weight, some crushed walnuts or something to the ends of in her feet and in her arms, makes it nice and flippy, which I like as well.
Christine says her nephew worked with giraffes in Africa. I thought a giraffe would make a lovely gift.
Oh yes, that would be gorgeous. Giraffes are really nice. They're a little bit scary up close. I'm not gonna lie. I did have a close encounter with a giraffe. I was in Kenya for work, and the place where we stopped, well, where we stayed overnight for a couple of nights, there was wildlife around it because there was a lake. And yeah, so I was walking in the park, in the grounds, and these giraffes came really close. And they're very tall. And you realise quite quickly, like, oh dear, that's a big wild animal. And I don't know what it's going to do. But they are gorgeous. So I am pinning. So I'm going to put its nose gusset in. So there's a little dot on its nose. I'm pinning through the dot, and then I'm pinning through the seam under its chin so that that's all lined up. This one can be a bit tricky because you're sort of matching a straight bit with a curved bit. So nose gussets are a little bit tricky. Just take it easy.
Lorraine says their eyelashes are amazing.
Oh, yes. Yes. Just do a little backwards and forwards on this bit. So it slows. There we go.
Karen says you used the G word twice. I hate the G word.
What's the G word?
Really? Claudia says they always say this, the colors of the animals are more intense in the natural habitat.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was amazing. We also had hippos that would come out at night and eat the grass outside our, well, they, not really huts. They were like little houses.
Terry says they're very graceful creatures.
They are.
And Christine says you make everything look easy.
Oh.
They're vegetarian, aren't they?
Yes. Yes.
So you'd have been all right.
Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah. Unless they decide to charge me. I mean, it's still a wild animal. I mean, I wouldn't want to come nose to nose with an elk either.
Well, they will eat you.
So all I'm doing right now before I proceed is I'm making sure that that bit underneath is nice and smooth and there's no folds in it or tucks.
Laurie is watching.
Oh, hi, Laurie.
She says, lovely show today. Love the
thank
Halloween.
You. Yay,
And Margaret
thanks.
is watching.
Hi, Margaret. Yeah, I do love Halloween. I have to admit that producer Hannah didn't really, I don't think she really understood my love of Halloween. But even you don't really understand my love of Halloween.
Well, I don't really like to be scared, do I? Your Sarah says,
scared.
I always
This is
told
fun.
the kids, if an animal attacks you, always go for their eyes. Billy said, what if it's a giraffe?
She is a smart cookie. She is.
Christine says her nephew was a warden
Oh, cool.
on a game reserve in Kenya.
Nice. Yeah, we did go out looking for the animals one evening as well. It was nice. We saw rhinoceros, elephants, zebras were my favourite. Zebras are my favourite. Because they're like horses, but they're not.
Terry says, grandson birthday is on Halloween and his surname is Graves.
Nice one. So he'll get my love of Halloween. I like when the kids come and get sweets and get to see all the costumes. So I was sadly disappointed last year.
I wasn't.
That's because you ate all the sweets. I usually try and buy ones that I don't like, so I'm not tempted.
Well, usually I have candy duty, and usually the first few kids get the lion's share.
Because you want to just turn the light off.
That's right. The sooner it's over, the sooner it's done.
So I'll show you. My nose is not perfect. It's not exactly 1/4 of an inch. It's not perfectly round. But I'm deciding that that is what is going to make my ginger giraffe a little bit unique. So if you're finding that bit tricky, and that bit is always tricky, don't despair, because even I can't do it perfectly.
Christine says her nephew had a near-death experience with elephants in the Congo.
Oh.
They're big, too.
They are big. Yeah.
They never forget, either. That was my grandmother's favorite animal, was elephants. You remember?
Okay.
I don't know. You probably never saw them.
No.
She always had elephants, statues,
Oh, cool.
toys, but the elephant's trunk had to be up.
Oh.
Apparently, it's good luck
Oh,
to
okay.
have that in the house.
So I'll turn her around so you can sort of see her face now. Because even though it's not perfectly round on her nose, I don't think she looks bad.
Terry says it gives your giraffe a unique character.
Yeah, look, and you can see, I mean, she's not got a bad face because of that. So you've got some more dots at the top. Let me just figure out. There's an order. And I can't do it completely because I've got horns here, which I also need to sew. Which also have to be attached with the ears. But you have to stuff these with some stuffing, which I don't have at the moment. So I won't be able to do that bit. But they need to be stuffed before you sew them on. Backs and forwards. There we go. That's one horn. There. I'm just trimming the seam allowance a little bit on the horn and snipping it. Because that's very small. I had all my prodders here a minute ago, but I moved them. That's okay. I've got a needle. I mean a pin I can use.
Oh, Jax.
Yeah, that's okay. I moved them. There we go. That's one horn. This is the other one. What time is it anyway?
22.
Oh, okay.
Lori says, is this giraffe in your shop?
It is. It is at swiftquilting.com. If you search Ginger Giraffe,
Sorry.
there were a few panels. I mean, it was single digits, but there were a few panels left.
Christine says, if you want perfect, then buy a mass-produced item.
This is true. This is true.
From China.
Oh, how cute were the bats on the show today? Did you see those, Mum?
No, I was at work.
Yeah, but you watched me.
Yeah, but only for about 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, they had some really cute bats.
Real bats or?
No, plush bats that they were making.
Oh. We have a bat outside.
Do we at the moment?
No, you mean we usually do in the evening, but...
Oh, yeah. I still remember that bat at the Oregon Zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell you that story if you haven't heard it. But I think we have told it before. It was funny.
Claudia said I had to order the bats to see for the kids.
Yeah, they're all cute.
Christine says, didn't BAFTA make a bat last year?
Oh, yeah. She did. And I don't have it down here. Hey, Bruce is here. That's one of the things I demonstrated last year was Batty. It was Batty the bat. I made two. One for Hebu and the one that has all my pink scabbies in it. Except last time Hebu was here, she found the bat with all the scabbies in it, so I had to retrieve it from her very quickly. And then she found her own. Okay, so for this guy, I'm going to pin it on, but I'm not going to sew it at this point because I haven't stuffed my horns. But what you want to do is, let's see, there's an ear. You got the pin and ear and the horn.
Christine says the ones you made last year were lovely.
Oh, thank you. Let's see, I think I'll do it this way. Oh, wait, this way. Trying to see which way the
No, Judith says if you put stuffing in a kitchen roll tube, then more stuffing around it will help the neck to stay straight.
Oh, good idea. Because I can't remember who I was talking to about that. It might have been John when we were at Stone Street last about one of the toys that had a very floppy neck.
Lorna says, I remember the bat demo. Doesn't time fly a year already?
I know. It's gone so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just going to pin them so you can see. So normally, once they're pinned on, you would baste them on to keep them in place. And I would baste them about 1/8 of an inch in, because you want that basting to be hidden in your seam allowance. But you want to baste them roughly, oh, that one's not pinned on, in that order. So you've got ears, horns in the middle. And your ear will go, the edge of the ear will go to where that was clipped in. That's how you line it up, and it goes here. And then the horns, there's a dot in the middle, horns meet in the middle like that. Yeah.
Christine agrees Judith's idea is a good one.
Yeah, that is a good idea. And once they're pinned and they're basted, then you turn it inside out again, and then you sew. I won't be able to show you because the pins are too big. You sew this seam shut. So it's a seam that goes across the head like this. So your ears will be this side and then your seam will go this way. And that's the head done. Now the legs, I will show you. So the legs, you're supposed to, once you've got the head all finished, you're supposed to sew your body across like that at the bottom. And then hand sew your legs on to the body. I don't like that idea. So what I'm going to do, this way, is I'm going to sew my leg together, and then I'm going to leave a little gap. It's going to be at the front, so I might do it rather high up so that the dress hides it. Or you could actually leave a gap at the bottom and sew up underneath. But essentially you're leaving a gap so that you can stuff it, you can sew your legs in to the body, and then when you turn it around you can stuff it afterwards. So let me think which is going to be the best way of doing that. I think I'm going to do the top of the leg.
Judith says if you sew your legs together, you won't be able to get on Ruby. Christine says the gap at the bottom of the foot is a good idea and it's out of sight.
Yeah. Yeah, so especially if you want to leave it without any clothes on, doing it at the bottom of the foot would be a good idea. I'm just going to do it at the top. There. Just going to do a little reverse stitch. Doing a little reverse stitch where your gap is, it also helps when you're stuffing it that it doesn't pull them open.
Chris asks, having difficulties in making the first red house on the miniature quilt. When you trace it from the pattern, do you reverse it or do you sew straight from the pattern? I did the roof, which was okay, then it went bad from there.
I think I traced it straight, did it straight from the pattern. I didn't reverse it at all. Trying to think. It is easy to get sort of turned around because I seem to remember, I'm not entirely sure, I think you do your back part of the windows separate from the front part of the windows. So you've got a narrow bit of the house and then a wider bit of the house, and I think they are done separately and then sewn together, I think. So that may be what's going wrong. Send me a picture and I'll have a look. Need to trim curve. There, that's good. Trim this bit. There we go. And then I can turn it this way around. You do have to sew the arms on afterwards. So the arms you do have to do separately and then sew them on because there isn't a seam to attach them to. Okay. Well, actually, now that I've done
Your Sarah says, just bought one. Laugh out loud.
that.
This should be fun.
Now that I've done that, I just realised that I've actually sewn that foot wrong.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie. So I will do it.
What, is this the foot?
It should have a pad on the bottom.
Ah.
But Sarah, you'll be able to do this, Sarah, because you did the horses. We did the horses, remember?
Oh dear, oh
Oh,
dear.
now I will have to go and get Jack.
Marie asks, can't you sew all the way around the leg and stuff them from the top, then sew them in?
You can, except...
John Scott is watching.
Oh, hi, John. Hi, what are you doing watching? You're supposed to be on holiday. What are you watching here for? Like, go away. Go enjoy your holiday. If you stuff them before you turn them and sew them in and then turn it around, I don't think that the opening will be big enough. I mean, you can try it. It just makes it easier if they're unstuffed to turn it around.
John says he just finished dinner.
Oh, it's been good, I hope. Well, cheers. Thank you for joining. On your holiday. Wow. I've seen his lovely pictures. God, he's having a good time. He's got lots of sun. Swimming pool. Nice. There we go.
Annette says, hello, John. Can't get enough of sewing.
He's having withdrawals. Okay, this is going to be another part that is tricky, I'm not going to lie. So putting the pad in the bottom of the foot is tricksy. But not impossible. So, you do have to do the length of the leg first. That is one thing you do have to do. So that bit was right.
Barbara says she did notice, but she didn't want to say.
Oh, bless you. You should say. Doing it wrong. So you've got a couple of dots to match up the front and the back. I'll take these out.
Chris says, okay, will do. I did it in... Oops, excuse me, 1 second. I did it in interfacing and I've unpicked it that many times that I'm getting mixed up.
Oh.
It is the part where I'm at joining the two window sections together. Perhaps I should try and find your YouTube on Sewing Street and any idea of the date.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, you could get back to with Chris.
Yeah. Message me and I'll let you know, because I think I did a little sneak peek on the Friday night as well before doing it on Sewing Street.
I think you did, yes.
Yeah.
That would have been 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago,
It was more than that.
4 weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure it was more. I'm pretty sure it was in the spring.
Pre-lockdown.
No. I'm pretty sure it was in the spring. I think it was a little while ago.
No.
Yeah, it was definitely before Festival of Quilts.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris, Emma will get back to you.
This is tricksy because it's sewing a curve to a straight edge. Not doing that.
Dawn says, quite rightly, which lockdown?
Yeah. Well, be thankful. At least we are sort of getting out of it.
Chris Whitty might hear you. Chris says, okay, I will message you. Thank you very much.
You.
Lori says, yeah, Lori suggests you should be able to on YouTube search for you and your shows will come up.
Yeah.
Barbara says it was indeed springtime.
See?
And Judith says it will be easier to get the feet stuffed firmly if you sew the top half of the seams after. And the giraffe.
Oh.
Are you having a laugh?
Yeah, I'm a giraffe.
Up the apples and pears.
You don't know any of that. Oh, what was it? Oh, it was Minder. Wasn't it Minder that we were watching?
Yes.
And I had to explain all the words to you.
Yes.
You were talking about his boat.
It's a good show. I like that show.
It's harmless. We've got Arthur Daly. I think the one you watched was after
Dennis Waterman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do enjoy watching shows, and you get to see what the UK looked like in the 70s and 60s. And
I remember when it used to be like that.
I remember when it was all fields.
Yeah, I'm pretty much getting to that age. Especially around Peterborough. It don't take much. I can't remember where I was the other day, and then like there's lots of houses going up.
Karen said, just had a quick look. You did the mini house quilt Friday live, and it was on April 23rd.
Oh, thank you.
St. George's Day.
Day before Katie's birthday.
Mm-hmm. And Jackie said, I also went onto YouTube, put attic window Sewing Street, and it came up straight away. So,
thank you. See, I told you it was in the spring.
well, you know.
Oh, this is actually. I think it's come together.
Chris-
Oh.
Christine says you can see your reaction in the window.
Oh. Right, so that's what it looks like. I don't know if you'll be able to see because it's quite pale thread. So not too bad actually, not too shabby. And what you can do if you really want, you can also possibly, I think you might be able to, I say put a little disc of cardboard, that sort of shape, and it keeps the bottom of the foot flat.
Jackie says it's her son's birthday and Shakespeare's birthday and death.
Oh yeah.
And Christy says Peterborough has grown so much since first started working there nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Reflection, yes. In the window, yes.
There we go. Now if I turn it around, it'll be correct.
So professional.
Well, I make the mistakes so you don't have.
It's no mistakes, right? That's what Bob Ross says. It's just happy
Yeah.
accident. That's what God says.
Yes.
And that says, I thought you had a man looking in, but it was just me. Sorry to disappoint.
You're actually seeing him better than he was. He's had a haircut.
Yes,
And
I was.
beard.
I was a bit rough a few weeks ago.
You were looking a bit nutty professor.
Lori says Deco will be good for the foot.
Oh,
DECO,
yeah.
what is that?
It's used in bag making
Oh.
to add shape. Yeah, good idea. Thanks, Laurie. Yeah. Hey, that's one leg. Now, let me think. If I have to put it in there, so I'm going to turn her all the way in right side out so I can see what I'm doing, because I'm going off pieced. Yeah, so that's her front. So the seam is going to go across the side like that. So that would be the front. So the legs, when you sew them in, just be careful. If you're going to do my method, you have to fold them in half So don't sew them in thinking it's like that. It needs to be folded so that the seam is in the very front of the leg.
Diamond says I need to watch Preacher on Prime. Don't know what that is, but we'll give it a watch.
Oh, yeah. There. So it needs to be pinned into the foot, into the leg, into the body rather, like that. So let me turn her the other way around again. Take the pins out because I will do her head later.
Christine says this has been really a good chat this week.
Oh,
you both make a nice start to the weekend.
Oh, yay. Okay, so if her her nose is that way, I'm going to pin.
Your Sarah says she's so glad she is watching you do it first.
This way, I think. Is the way it needs to be. Let me try it and then turn her around and we'll verify that it's actually correct.
A few moments later.
So let me just verify that. Let me pin that in. And let me turn her outside round because I want to tell you the right way. Let's see. No, other way. Her foot is facing the wrong way. That's why I wanted to double check it.
And it says you were making this look easy. Haven't made toys in ages. They can be a bit tricky.
They can be a bit tricky. Okay, that's easy to remember. So the seam is the front. So the seam needs to go towards the side where her nose is. So if that's her nose. This is the front part of the body. I want to pin her in so that that is facing forwards. So the seam is on the front. I'm going to match those seams together, and then that will...
Diamond says Preacher is very irreverent and weird. Quite violent but compelling.
Oh. There we go. So then I'll pin her legs in like that. So the front seam needs to be this way. And then it'll be the right side round. So I'll pin them both on and then I'll sew them. And then when I turn them around, I'll stuff them. And then sew them back up. The arms, you don't actually have any foot pads to worry about. It really is just a straight arm. It's got a rounded hand, so the hand is rounded. I'm trying to see, I'll open her up, because those you do have to sew by hand. I'll see if there should be a marker, but let me just verify that. See where they go. So there's the front of her face. Let's see. It doesn't really. There isn't anything on the body. Oh yeah, there is. So there's a little white X to mark where you should be sewing her arm, top of her arms to. So that's that.
Christine asks, how's the coat coming along?
It will, because I'm actually just going to be doing Sewing Street once a month. So that's cutting down to once a month, so there'll be less sewing to do for Sewing Street. So I'll be able to... I haven't actually watched television since... What was the last thing we watched together?
Well, to be fair, I've been watching a lot of games.
Yeah, but usually we will sometimes watch. I mean, even at the weekends, I haven't watched any telly because I've just been sewing or writing patterns, or
I don't remember.
doing the long arm quilting.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
what we
So
watched.
I haven't actually had any time to just sit and sew, but I will be doing some this weekend, hopefully. Tomorrow morning I'll probably be doing a little bit of hand sewing. That's the part that's taken the longest time, is the hand sewing of the hexes for the inside of the coat. Otherwise it'd have been done long ago. But it's coming along. It's not forgotten. I'm still working on it.
Christine says the coat will be great for the winter, whichever year that.
2025.
It's a bit
Optimistic.
optimistic.
No, it will be done.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. I will endeavour to get her finished because I really want to see how cute she is now.
Well, we can finish it next week.
That's true. Or I might think of something else for next week. I don't know what yet. Watch this space. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed that. For those of you who've got Ginger, give it a go. For those of you who are buying her, also give it a go. There's a link. I think she'll be really cute.
Your Sarah says, no, the arms, so I can see. So
Oh. Okay, I'll continue Ginger next week. Actually, there is something I want to show with her clothes because if you want to make a different outfit, because the way it's written in the instructions, they're permanent. You basically sew her into them, but with a little bit of changing, you can actually make her clothes that come on and off. So okay, we'll continue Ginger next week then, and I'll do the clothes so you can see that bit. Yeah, that means I'll have to finish Ginger, which would be good. It'd be good. Okay, well, thank you for joining. Have a great weekend. I think the weather's going to be nice tomorrow anyway, most places. I don't know about Sunday.
Christine says, safe riding your motorbike.
Anyway, yeah.
Sarah says, love you.
You do? Yeah, I'll do it next week. You've got to do it with me though. You'll have to get it cut out so you can do it with me. So.
Laura says, thanks for the chat and demo.
Oh,
Sandra says, thank you. Lauren says, night. Have
Good
a
night.
great weekend. Joan says, thank you.
Oh, John's still here. John,
Joan,
go to bed.
Joan.
Oh, Joan. I'm like, John, go away. Go to bed.
Christine
Enjoy your holiday.
and Judith both say, thank you and night.
Good night. Bye.
Good night, all.